everybody. Welcome to Burnout Box, Season 3, Episode 27. I'm Justin.
And I'm Rebecca.
How's everybody doing this afternoon? So the topic is the new Bronco. And
it is.
That's been a lot of talk on the internet right now, and I actually found out that your brother is getting one.
What?
Yeah. Your dad told me this morning. I haven't had a chance to tell you yet.
So last I heard, he was getting the Cybertruck.
That's a big, going from one to the other. And I guess the Bronco's available in several different flavors, different engine combinations. I'm a little disappointed to see there's not a Coyote available.
Just swap it. I mean, that's what I would. For a long time, since they said the Bronco was coming out and released renderings of it, I was like, put Coyote in it.
How long will it take someone to swap a Coyote into a Bronco? I think that's the question.
I don't know. How long does a Predator swap on a GT500? Track attack.
It was easier to get the engine than it was to get the car. So it happened Rebecca's joking because we actually did that, for those of you that haven't seen Track Attack. And yeah, it was easier to get the engine and just freaking throw it in there. Have the first manual transmission powered Predator, true manual transmission Predator in the world.
Are you saying that the one that it comes with is a fake?
I don't know.
I'm giving you a hard time. I am at odds with what the dual clutch is, so I can't call it anything but a dual clutch. How else do I specify what the heck is going on in there?
I'm going to say that I like the DCT quite a bit in the new GT500. Just get in, turn that knob, drive it around.
I do. Okay, I like it. It's very nice. I think I might be a little unrefined. I get in and I'm like, there's something missing in the middle. I'm looking for something and it's not there. And the other day, I was getting in the car with all of our kids into my Expedition, which I've never, I was like, I miss having a manual transmission vehicle. I just miss it. I don't know why these things happen to me when I'm thinking about things.
I think Track Attack's our only manual transmission, shop car or...
Well, your GT500, I've only driven it.
Oh, I keep forgetting I have that car.
Yeah, I'm not real interested in driving it, but I did drive it.
Yeah, it's got power, torque, and a manual trans.
Yeah, but I especially like the four-door Bronco. I think it's very, very cool looking. I think it would be awesome with a Coyote in it, or as Chuck mentioned, a Predator swap. Yeah, I would like that quite a bit. That would be... I have a problem. I think I have a problem.
Problem with horsepower.
No, yes, I do have that. But I just want too many cars, and none of them are good options for our family. I want a Porsche.
So I think there's a solution to this, and Rebecca's going to absolutely hate this. She probably knows what it is.
No. I don't like this idea. I already know what it is. Go ahead.
It'll look weird. But I'm mildly obsessed with the F650, F750 super trucks, and they were built with 6 doors at one point. So you could do the same thing to a Bronco. I mean, you could. It's crazy, but you could. But it just looks weird with 6 doors and a long wheelbase, I guess.
I don't like that. I'm not worried about driving it. I just don't, aesthetically, it looks wrong, and I don't like it.
Probably hard to park.
I mean, I'm sure in some places it is. I'm not real concerned about it. We've gone enough places with a motorhome and a stacker that I'm not worried about parking, really. But aesthetically, I just can't. And that does nothing for my Porsche problem. Thank you very much.
I think you should have a Porsche one day.
Yep, well.
Then you can have another DCT vehicle. We're getting a ton of questions in.
Yep. So John Smith asked, do you think the 7-speed could make its way into the next generation Mustang? Sorry, I should have clarified. I meant a TR6070 or equivalent from G-Trag. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what Ford's plan is for like the manual transmission Mustang. I know that we had a new Roush here yesterday, and I said to the guy, "Hey, is this a manual?" "No, it's an automatic." And you know, Roush's used to be traditionally mostly manuals, and automatic was the rarity. And I mean, we've been working with Roush since 2011, when they really had their most their biggest growth with the Coyote and everything. And yeah, I mean, the manual is the one to have, and like now with the automatic being the one to have, will Ford ever go back to really offering a whole lot of, you know, true manually shifted manuals, or will they just stick with the 6-speed forever?
Yeah, I mean, to me it seems like they're relatively happy with the GT350 trans.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. It's a good question. It's interesting to consider. Janssen50 says, how much does your tune add to the 2.7 EcoBoost, just in case I buy one? Just in case.
I know. I know we had one on the dyno recently, and I actually don't remember how much Matt picked up, but I think it's got make some good gains.
Yeah, I would imagine it's significant. We already talked about Chuck's. Chad Dowd says, love the look, interior and exterior. I'm saddled with the no solid axle in the front, electric steering, and motor options. Same.
I agree, Chad.
Tyson Frankie wants to know if my GT500 is back yet. It is, and I did drive it. I drove it last Friday. As good as ever.
Yeah.
A little bit less bright inside. They tinted the windows.
They, Cooper and Garrett and everybody, they took great care of it and got the windows tinted on it. So car came back super clean, detailed, better than we gave it to them, honestly.
Evan Greer just installed my heat exchanger on my 17 GT last week. Just wondering if it's normal for the fans to run for 1 to 2 minutes after the car gets shut off and power is off.
So it's a really good question.
And I think it's a common question.
And about a year ago, we changed our heat exchanger harness to pull power from a different spot on 15 up, and that reduced the amount of runtime after key off quite a bit, but there can still be a little bit. So that's why the 11 to 14 harness still pulls from the little connector on the back of the cylinder head, and the 15 up harness pulls from the fuse box, pulls the trigger signal. But yeah, that's kind of that.
Matt Ingerman, what's up? Quick question. What's the smallest pulley on E85 with a Gen 2R on a Gen 1 that you would use? Car is not a daily. You know what? It cracks me up when people say a car isn't a daily. Do you still want to play? Like, does that make you less or more likely to want to blow it up?
You could, I mean, smallest pulley on the 85. With the 85, the sky or the rods is the limit. And you could go all the way to a 69. You know, I think most people are probably going to run around with like a 75 if they want to be aggressive, maybe a 72, but they're going to try to keep the rods and the pistons in the block.
John Smith agrees, would like to see the Coyote and the Bronco. Joe Arsenault, Jay Leno has a 68, I think, Bronco with a 5.2 liter GT500 engine manual shift. Good to know. Lethal Venom, is VMP getting close to giving us early Christmas and putting out a dyno video on the Gen 3R on the Terminators? 93 pump gas, please. We are toiling away at them.
Yeah, one of the guys at work drove his Terminator to work today, which is a rare occurrence for Sean, but he got it out of the garage and drove it to work. And he's actually, you know, a 93 pump gas candidate, because his car is still relatively unmodified, just has a Gen 1 VMP 2.3 liter on it right now. So, you know, I mean, that Christmas present is coming, and Magnuson's working on the Gen 3Rs for the Terminator. they're delayed like everything in this world with the freaking coronavirus stuff going on right now, but they're working on them, so they're coming.
Dorian Johnson says, hey, VMP team. He also wants to know if we're going to make it up to Carlisle. We are not, unfortunately, with the situation. I guess Pennsylvania has, like, totally changed their stance on who can come into the state and who can't. And I don't know. This is just hearsay at this point, and I only heard it this morning, so I haven't had a chance to look into it. But if anybody knows something reputable besides me just spreading rumors, you can feel free to let us know. But we did decide that it was in the best interest of the company and our employees to not travel right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, Carlisle's a great event that we spent 4 years building. It really pains us to miss out on this one, but we feel that's the best avenue with what's going on in the world right now, and you know, we'll be back at Carlisle next year. But you know, Dorian, tell us what you've got going on with your build. I know you've been working on it quite a bit.
Steve Simmons says, I was wanting to know the same thing, but for a Gen 2 head unit. I have a 69mm upper and a 5% lower right now, thinking that a 63mm upper will be overspinning the blower or just not be as efficient as the 69mm.
Send it.
Yep.
Send it.
Sinspot says, in the last about Chuck's car, and they said they were talking about putting different BMR pieces on it, and I think he said some subframe connectors. I thought you said that was not needed on S197 and newer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of, I mean.
Jesse was casually commenting. He wasn't giving a specific list of parts. There's not subframe connectors going on that car.
Okay.
It was just casually talking about suspension components. He didn't.
I think, yeah, it was just like a laundry list of.
Yeah. And I mean, like, if you have a real specific reason to put them on, you can. You know, you want jacking rails because you change your wheels and tires every weekend at the autocross. You know, they might be valuable for you. We're just not. It's not the first thing we go to.
John Barrett says, masks are mandatory in Louisiana. Did y'all like my new mask? Did you see it?
I didn't see it.
It's a VMP mask.
He asked me a couple days ago, so I'm like, yeah, sure, man, whatever. And
I saw it, John. I thought it was awesome.
Cool.
Dakota Haywood just finished getting cams done on a 2010 GT500. It's got you guys' Gen 2, Stage 1 L&N cams, 2.4 pulley, boost range should be 21 pounds of boost, and it's on a base email tune from you guys. What do you think about power numbers?
That's a, you know, I mean, the Gen 2, VMP Gen 2, Gen 2R, 2.3 liter TVS supercharger, that whole family, like, it's been around for so long. Like, I know the dyno numbers like the back of my hand, but the cams add another element that is going to make more power along with the boosting, and it sounds like you've got an overdrive lower balancer pulley given the boost numbers you're quoting. So I would say that combination is going to make probably mid 700s. You know, if you really got it on a cold day, you turned it way up, it's got the potential to make 800 wheel, but wouldn't necessarily go looking around for that on a 2.3 on just any dyno any day of the week.
Straight Line Racing says, thank you for my Roush 767 horsepower upgrade kit. VMP for the win. Thanks.
It's awesome to hear.
Yep. Evan Greer, I use the power from the back of the motor since my Roush ran that way. Is it still okay like this, or should I go from the fuse box? It's on a 17.
That's a good question, Evan. I mean, it's not going to hurt running it that way. The only thing that we found is that if you have like a weak battery, when the voltage drops real low, sometimes it's like it'll almost hold the relay open, and it will be worse off. Sorry, my phone's beeping like crazy.
Our Stage 3 says, what modifications are necessary to fit a Gen 2 or a Gen 3 on my Roush Stage 3? Do you guys use the same manifold Roush does?
Yeah, so any of our Coyote head units will drop right onto your Roush car.
Absolutely. RG My Life. I can install my Gen 3R without the fuel pump booster. Looking at the supercharger in my living room has me anxious. LOL. Fuel pump booster is back ordered, no ETA.
That's a really good question because that's something that we were talking about yesterday with our shipping department and our purchasing department and everything.
We talked about it this morning too.
You can go ahead and install it, and we are going to have boosters, but the plug-and-play harnesses are hard to get right now. So if you did want to wire it in, we could ship you a booster later this week, and you could wire it in without the plug-and-play harness. But overall, that booster is only really going to matter above 6,000 or 7,000 RPM with your Gen 3R. So, if you wanted to go ahead and install it, data log it, and just advise us that, hey, waiting on the booster, go ahead.
Yep.
Don't hold off.
And if it is something that you decide that you do want us to go ahead and send the booster without the harness and you're going to wire it yourself, just let us know, and we can do that too. We want to work with people as much as possible. Dorian says that he is picking up his motor from L&M as he types. W. Branchwell, there's no space in my copy of this. W. Branch, will VMP be at Mustang Week? Right now, that is the plan. Things are kind of touch and go at the moment, and we are, as the whole world is kind of changing as the situation dictates it. So right now, that is the plan. It's an easier pill to swallow to have to drive 6 hours rather than 14 to Carlisle just to find out that things aren't going well.
Yeah, Mustang Week's pretty close to home, so we enjoy it. We want to go there. We take our kids to Mustang Week a lot of times and let them enjoy that Myrtle Beach scene.
Brett from Joker says a big crowd in here.
Hey, Brett.
Ariel Selena says, hello guys from South Texas. Thank you for the helpful advice. Hopefully we can install the converter and test Toro next week. Good. Let me know how that converter works.
So the backstory behind that is Ariel has the same setup on his car as Rebecca's old car.
Except for his car's way freaking nicer than mine.
And Rebecca's new car. So a lot of the parts that were
we
developed.
Just share.
Yeah. That were developed on her car that we still haven't finished. Ariel's got them on his car, and he's put them to work. And we've got this awesome converter from FTI that we did not haven't been able to test yet. So we sent it over to Triangle Speed Shop and Ariel and his team, and they're going to test it out and go set some TVS records.
Jansen Pimo says, if I come down south for a holiday, can I stop by and do a burnout in Chucky? And you comment every week, why the heck not?
Yeah.
You come do a burnout in Chucky, I'll do a burnout in Chucky, and everyone will have a burnout. Five Goes Productions. In an episode with Derek with Lucifer, you mentioned that the 1314 Gen 1 Coyotes got Gen 2 rods. Was this accurate or by mistake? Thanks for all you guys do. I don't know what you're saying out there.
I mean, that was the word when we were all living the frickin' Gen 1, Gen 2 life back in like 13, 14, 15. I remember people were buying the Boss rods from Ford and putting them like in built motors, and if you were building a 4.6, you could use the Boss rod, which is ultimately supposedly the Gen 2 rod. But yeah, that was the rumors that 1314s started to get some better parts. And I mean, we always feel like, as far as Gen 1 Coyotes go, we feel like the 1314s, the later ones, hold up a little bit better than the 1112s. Like, sometimes the 1112s just like break for no apparent reason. So I don't know, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Guido 1969 says, did the GT500 make it back with zero issues? Absolutely. Better than it returned better than it left us, with tint on the windows and detailed, and with some additional decorations.
Those guys took great care of it.
Sinspot, did you see that Andrew from Mustang Lifestyle's last video of his built GT500 on the dyno? He made over 1,168 rear-wheel horsepower. He had the 2.6 and switched to the 2.4 and only made about 20 more horsepower. Do you think that this is the upper limit of the Gen 3R?
So that's a good question.
It is.
Andrew and I traded some messages about the power numbers. He shared them with me and everything else. And we also talked about the sticker that was on the supercharger while he was at that other dyno shop. And but I told Andrew I've got some better parts for him, and without knowing more about the combination, I don't necessarily think it's maxed out, because we've seen
more.
Yeah, we've seen 1,300.
I've seen bigger.
1,300 real-world horsepower from the Gen 3R combination on 5458.
Aram Cyan, sorry if I butchered that. Hi guys, still waiting for the return style fuel system for the 15 to 17. Is there any ETA? It's already been 2 months.
Well, I'm sorry you're waiting, and we are working diligently to get those kits out. Did we have any updates?
I don't recall an update. Aram, if you want to message me, we can talk about it and see what we can do and get you through this. So if you feel free to just search my name on Facebook and message me, and we'll try to do whatever we can, because I hate that it's taken this long, even in spite of knowing how that a lot of people are going through the same stuff. Randy Shaw says, Chuck's car looked awesome while putting down some good power numbers. Can't wait for you guys to finish built motors and Odin on mine and Garrett's Gen 2.
Awesome. So, yeah, I mean, Randy, thank you for trusting us with your cars, and we're excited about them going together as well. So I know that we're working on them, and they're big projects, and they're just taking time.
Cute Shadow Kia says, hi Rebecca and Justin. Hi to you. Dakota Haywood says, the car feels, and this is to be expected with cams, like it really only wants to make big power higher in the RPMs. Can tuning change the power band and get more power and torque on the low end? So definitely optimizing your tune is going to optimize your power band. I'm sorry that that's kind of a difficult issue or a question for me to answer, because without knowing like where you are in the tuning spectrum of things, it's hard for me to say. But optimizing your tune is going to optimize how the car feels and how the car performs.
Yeah, and it's like a difficult question for me to answer too, but just the tuning can definitely optimize the combination, but it can't make something of nothing, and it doesn't necessarily, because tuning is completely three-dimensional, even four-dimensional, you can't shift one thing to another. There's not really trade-offs. You can either do it or you can't.
Janssen50 says, does VMP offer tunes for the 7.3?
I'm imagining you're talking about the new 7.3 gas.
That's what I think.
Yeah. I mean, if SET and HP tuners support it, we can definitely tune it. We haven't messed with them yet. Actually called my Ford dealer when they first came out, and he didn't have any. He hadn't ordered any. Didn't think it was going to be a big seller. So still don't know what that market looks like.
Larry Doran says, hey guys. Hey Larry.
Hey Larry, nice to hear from you. Sorry I haven't had a chance to give you a call yet.
Dustin1720 says, someone told me you guys do trade-ins or buybacks when upgrading superchargers. Does that mean that you sell used supercharger kits?
We don't really.
It's a complicated question.
Yeah.
Mostly no. W Branch. Okay, hope to meet you all and love my Gen 3R. Awesome. If you happen to be around, even though we're not coming up, if we don't end up making it up to Mustang Week, if you come down here, we'd be happy to see you, and if we see you up in Mustang Week, that'd be great. Cute Shadow Kia says, do the 18 Plus ECUs support different tunes for the mode, or is it just throttle mapping, dampers, and ESC?
So the driving mode in those cars is just a function of throttle mapping. As far as getting into like the stability control and the dampers and everything, those are different modules that aren't accessible via tuning.
Danny Taylor says that they just got here, so we'll see them momentarily.
Awesome.
And he also wants to know, can I do a burnout in Chuck's, is what it says. I'm wondering if you mean Chucky, because I cannot tell you can do a burnout in Chuck's car. I can't even do a burnout in Chuck's car. We'll see in a minute. Randall Scott Hendrick says, do y'all ever come up anywhere between Chattanooga and Atlanta or anywhere reasonably near northwest Georgia with the dyno? Well, we used to.
Oh, Ponies in the Smokies.
Well, Ponies in the Smokies is one, and then I was thinking Commerce.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Ponies in the Smokies next year will be our probably next soonest event up there.
Should be up there next March.
I mean, I wouldn't mind going to Asheville.
We probably won't bring the dyno with us though if we go on a vacation to Asheville.
No, we should have a vacation.
Yeah.
Luke Bonzani says, hey guys, did my AMSOIL change kit the other day. Car's mostly sitting in the garage. No shows, cruises, nothing around here. That's a bummer, Luke. 50 Newbie says, changing from a 79mm pulley to a 72mm on a Gen 3 on E85. Do I need to revise the tune or get a new tune?
You know, whenever you pulley down and increase boost on like pump gas, you're going to be worried about running too much timing and potentially having knock. With the E85, that's not really an issue, but you want to make sure the car doesn't run out of fuel. So you want to data log it. Make sure the measured air fuel is still in check around 0.82, 0.80 lambda. And
it's after 2, and I think that is the show.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next time.
Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thanks.